Hello there, I'm the base manager and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. Now, today we have a few things to do on other planets. We have over here one task to complete. We have to make a cooling loop to cook the resin that we are getting from this tree. We also need to find a way to feed the tree, but for now that's not exactly a major concern. We should also go, not to this planet, but to this planet, over here. Entombed. What is entombed? Oh, that. Whatever. We need to come over here because I have a bajillion packages of coal waiting to be delivered, and I have run out of coal, and therefore I'm no longer producing red bolts to charge this thing. We are only at 25%. So I think it would not be the worst thing in the world coming over here to fix this as well. And given that we no longer have anything else to do over here, I think I'm going to send my dupes back. We still need to wait for a few resources over here. These artifacts can stay in here for now. We'll take them with us soon. But for now, let me just double check, because I'm just starting the episode, so I just need to double check, see if there is anything else to do, and then we shall move on. Okay, so after analyzing the situation over here, the conclusion that I came to is that we need to bombard this planet with a lot more igneous rock shells. We don't have a lot of minerals in this place, so I'm just going to order someone to come over here and close this door. I built this door over here on purpose because we have a vacuum in here, which means that the temperature will not bleed into this area. This area is already pretty hot, we don't need any more temperature bleed if we can avoid it. So I'm just going to do that, send the rocket. Let's see, are we close to the... Yeah, we are on the opposite side. Because this rocket has plenty of fuel. If we were, for example, over here in this planet, I would just go straight into the ice planet to the maintenance there and then come back. That means we have to come back to the main planet, resupply, and then go again. Mostly because of the oxygen that we have. The journey is going to be quite long. I'm pretty sure that we had enough fuel to go there and come back. For example, let's go like this. We have, yeah, 13 tiles, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, we would have more than enough fuel. Unfortunately, our oxygen supply is at its midpoint, so I don't think we have enough oxygen to go there, do our thing, and then come back to base to resupply. So, given that we already lost one dupe to suffocation, let's not risk it. Hello? Why ain't you coming out? What the fuck is going on? Oh, here they come. Okay, please lock that door, because it is time to go back home. Time to launch. Here we go. Let's see, will we cook all of this area? Let's see how the temperature bleed goes. Get a little bit over here. Whoa! It's getting real toasty in here. Wow. Just wow. Sedimentary rock, really? It's really garbage. Luckily for me, I made these stairs like one. Oh no, that's terrible. That's terrible, because we are going to lose all the atmosphere that we have over here. No. That means we'll have to come back here sooner rather than later, because, well, losing the atmosphere is not the greatest thing in the world. Even though we don't use it to breathe, we use it to temperature transfer, you know, between the different things. And as the pressure in here drops, the polluted water is going to start to off-gas, which means we are going to lose water, just simply by, you know, venting the atmosphere into space. Not ideal. But in any case, now that we have our dupes coming back, everybody in the colony is going to focus their efforts on the Rocketeer lounge over here, given that, well, there is not much to be done. Truth be told, first, we don't have a lot of room left, and second, we already have done pretty much every single thing that we wanted to do over here. Most of the facilities that we need are done. Unfortunately for us, our geothermal power plant is sucking out the heat faster than I was expecting, because we already solidify half of the map, which is less than ideal, but okay. But oh well, it is time for us to get a move on. We need more stuff, so I'm going to send this rocket once again to collect us some obsidian and some iron. Let me just double check. Yep, this is at maximum. Inside everything is cool. We have food, we have water, we have power and oxygen. Yeah, very important to verify that part. Especially because this is the doomed rocket, right? We don't want to have to be unlucky twice in the same place. So let's launch that, and while we do that, I should probably... Yeah, why no... Oh, because no. Manual use allowed. We are going to request a few more igneous rocks to be sent into the Yucky planet, as we need more stuff there to build that cooling loop that we were talking about. Hopefully we'll be able to do it by this episode, and we might be able to start working on some sort of farm to feed the tree as well. Sending food from over here is all nice, is all good and nice, but we have to remember that our dupes, for example, those 5 million calories of fried mushrooms, that is probably like 40 kilos of fried mushrooms. Now our dupes, they are just going to come over here and put all of that in here all at once, right? So we don't want to be wasteful with our food. That can still be pretty useful eventually, so we might just do something in that planet that allows the tree to be fed. Why there is so much garbage air in here? Please cleanse this area of this garbage. Thank you. I know why, because our thingies, the slicksters have been consuming all of this carbon dioxide. This thing is getting at really low pressure, and because of that there is a few things that are starting to off-gas. Because this map is a little bit disgusting. We have ice on top of the map, and it has been constantly melting and spreading this disgusting water all over the place. So yeah, that's also an issue that I'm not going to fix. I'm just going to let it roll. Eventually all the ice is going to melt. So yeah, this is a good way for us to clean out the area without having to do anything, pretty much. Okay, my friends, so we are starting to get some performance issues in here. I can only assume that it is due to the fact that we have explored pretty much every single planet, we have a base in every single planet. But if there is anything that speedrunners ever taught us, is that we must kill the animals to save the frames. As you can see, I have a bajillion sweetles over here. Because every time I get a sweetle in the printing pod, I just, you know, print it because there's no reason to reject it, right? It is a source of meat that we are going to get simply because it's going to be in here. But I have a billion of them over here, and well, I'm going to take care of them in the speedrunner fashion. But I'm not going to kill them all. That would be mean of me, right? Right, so I checked out. I have a sweetle somewhere around here, don't I? Yeah. If we go over here into the databank, we can see that it can live up to minus, in this case down to minus 30 degrees. It's not going to be comfortable, but it can live. And, well, we don't need to take care of the sweetles if they are wild. As you can see, like, if they are... I believe that if they are born outside of a ranch area, they automatically become wild. Otherwise, they would otherwise become tame automatically. So if they are wild, we don't need to feed them. Therefore, they won't die of starvation. So they can just tend to our plants without us doing anything for them. So that's going to be the plan. I'm going to transfer the sweetle eggs over here, allow them to live and take care of our plants for us, so that we can have even more food. Not that we have any problems feeding ourselves, but still they are useful. But after I transfer most of them over here, I'm just going to go throughout the map, and I'm going to go and do something that the protection, the Animal Protection Agency would not be happy with me if they knew I was going to do it. I just love this warning, I'm going to be honest. This is the most useful thing It is so simple and so useful at the same time. Oh my god. And it is useful because for some reason the game remembers a lot of things, but they don't remember who owns beds and stuff like that if they move out of the planet. No, another thing, guys, that I noticed, by the way. For example, if you put a party line in your cockpit, which is something that I like to do. I like my dupes to have some social life after all. They don't need to be tortured and isolated from everybody else. But for some reason the party line goes uncontrolled, as you can see in here, right? If I click that part 2 times, it goes back into being controlled, but every time the rocket goes away and comes back, this thing becomes even though it has the access restricted, it becomes uncontrolled, unlike everything else. So I noticed that my dupes, for some reason, have the tendency to come inside of the rocket to use the party line, even though I have plenty of party lines back at base, because this one is close by, you know, they choose the one closest to it. So yeah, that's another issue with the rockets. If they stayed on crew, that would not happen, but who am I to say that this is uncool, but okay. So I am here setting up the egg thingy, and I know this is completely off topic, but I know for a fact that my cats just did something something wrong, because my mom just went like, aww, and now she's going, oh my god. So I'm pretty sure my cats just did something they shouldn't. I love those things, but sometimes. Well, I mean, it's not like we have a lack of food or anything, but given that we have so much polluted water anyway, why not turn it into fertilizer? Because we actually don't have a lot of fertilizer. The only fertilizer that I have been getting is from the printing pod, so how about I make my own? The fertilizer takes phosphorite and polluted water. Polluted water, not a problem, and phosphorite, once again, not a problem, because these thingies, the Dracos, produce a bunch of phosphorite every time they go for a meal. So the same way that those things produce plastic, they have been producing phosphorite for us for a billion years now, because that was one of the first things that we have set up. So if we go over here, I have almost 200 tons of the stuff. How about we convert it into something useful? Oh well, my friends, this rocket is being resupplied and it is ready to go. I already selected the destination. Warnings. Yeah, the cargo transfer. Yeah, whatever. Let's go over there. Let's go over there, I said. When it comes to our Rocketeer Lounge, things are going pretty well. We have the first layer almost done. In here I'm going to have a double layer, because glass is not the best thing at absorbing radiation. It's not bad at 52%, but it's not as good as insulation, right? So with a double layer of glass, we are going to at least make a dent on the radiation that we are getting from space. But in any case, guys, in other news, the eggs for the Sweetles have been moved, which means that we have ensured that their species is going to be conserved after a, well, I believe it's this one, right? A mass murder event that is about to take place. If you love these critters, I would suggest you look away, because, well, they are about to be exterminated, and unfortunately, these will also accompany them, because their usefulness is absolutely zero. They exist purely for cosmetic purposes, because they emit a bunch of decor. We have plenty of decor, thank you, so you have to go. And your eggs are going to be turned into amulets. Today we are going to eat Sweetle on a stick. Barbecue is going to be on the menu tonight. Tasty, tasty Sweetle. Just look at Rivaldo, they are all enjoying their meals now. Well, my friends, from all that murder, I got an astonishing 2 frames out of the deal. Is it worth it? I don't know, I'll leave it up to you. But in any case, now comes the expensive part of this build. Now I will discover if I have enough materials to actually do this. I am in fact going to use the granite because that's apparently the most abundant resource in here. So yeah, hopefully I didn't overextend myself, and I won't end up with an incomplete build this time. Oh, it would appear that our dupes have arrived, finally. It's going to be pretty quick, they are not going to stay in here for very long. I just want them to collect the interplanetary loads that are filled with not 200 kilograms of coal, apparently. Uh, not really a problem. Yeah, could you guys, like, not do that? The interplanetary loader is quite more important, so how about you guys do that? Instead of being in here, being cooked alive by a bunch of radiation, hmm? Now, in here, I'm also going to take advantage of the fact that our dupes are in the planet. To fix this, we have a layer of polluted oxygen that is being annoying. Usually the polluted oxygen is not a problem because it gets compressed so much that it simply vanishes. But this time, it's actually being quite annoying, so I'm going to deconstruct a few tiles here and there to vent this polluted oxygen out. And once we start using this steam, I'll just close it off again. Okay guys, so I would like to state a correction to what I said. Apparently the party lines get uncontrolled every time there is a new cycle, because I have clearly placed this thing in controlled, and I just noticed that Cosman was adding this way, right? So I figured it could only be that thing. Jesus. Yeah, you see, another one. Okay, my friends, so our maintenance over here is done. This chamber is almost done. I have not enough steel to complete this side over here. As you can see, I'm sending some steel now, but we can complete this side later. This is not really important. We don't need that iron anyway. But what we do need is the temperature inside of the chamber. So, in order to maximize our power production from this facility, what we are going to do, we are going to use a little bit of automation. We are going to use a thermal sensor plus a battery to keep these steam turbines shut off when power is not needed. That way we can serve the temperature inside of the steam chamber, right? However, because we don't want this temperature to rise too much, we have this thermal sensor over here that is going to send a green signal if the temperature rises above 195. I don't want this temperature to go too high because, you know, some of the machinery inside of the chamber, it's not a good idea to let it break due to temperature, right? But at the same time we don't want this to run all the time, otherwise we are going to be wasting power. So there is always that to take into consideration as well. Okay, so I just sealed the chamber off so that we don't have this happening. This water gets pretty hot because it's in contact with this manual airlock, which is made out of metal, right? So I just insulated that. We shouldn't have any more problems. Let's go over here, select our base, and give the crew command so everybody gets back aboard, and let's just get the hell out of here. Do you guys remember when, in the start of this episode, when I told you, we already have enough buildings, we are not going to do anything else? Well, I also said that we have a slime problem. And, well, our dupes really enjoyed their barbecue, so I thought to myself, how about we solve two issues by going ranching once again, right? I was thinking we could create a pufflet ranch over here. Every single one of these rooms has 96 tiles, which is the size of a ranch, right? And we have a handy way of creating polluted oxygen. All we need to do is to vent all of this carbon dioxide out of here and drop a little bit of polluted water over here. We don't need a lot. Said polluted water, once this carbon dioxide is gone, is going to start off gas into polluted oxygen, which the pufflets will turn into slime, and that way we solve the slime problem, and we even get a little bit of meat out of that. And because this is like a silo design, all we need to do is put one of these, a auto sweeper over here, to sweep that meat into our fridges. Okay, my friends, this rocket is fueled up, ready to go. It is time for us to return to the Yucky planet. I kind of want to get that cooling loop done so that we can start collecting some iso resin. Not that it is the most pressing resource in the world, but it is nice to have some, how should I put it, iso resin to make visco gel and insulation. Now, over here, this thing is going to have filtration, basic filtration system, just so that we don't expel any carbon dioxide, any polluted oxygen. I mean, other than that, it's just going to be your standard ranch with a grooming station and a new incubator, so that we can keep our eggs in here and don't have the dupes taking out the eggs out of this place and having a bunch of puffs just all over the place. Okay, so our dupes have arrived in the planet. They are now busy unpacking all the planetary loads that we have sent, but oh boy, it's not great. I will have to find a better system in here, probably make a door out of steel on either side to protect against the high temperatures of launch. But in any case, now that we are here, and even though we don't have a lot of resources, I can always dig a bit of the map. There is like igneous rock in a few bits here and there. For example, over here, right? And it is time for me to start setting up that cooling loop. That way we can cook the resin into iso resin. Okay, my friends, so given that today is the day of small improvements in the colony, and while our dupes are building the cooling loop back at the Yucky planet, how about we kickstart the fertilizer production chamber? I already have the phosphorite over here, which I have, you know, railed all the way from our supply thingy. What in God's name is going on in here? Why is this not working? Oh, because this is not connected. That would be why. No, that's less than ideal. Stop. Stop, 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 stop. God damn it. Go away, please. Thank you. Okay. So, what needs to be done? For this not to happen, we need to come over here and build a liquid bridge. This is going to prevent the water from coming into this pipe, which should be only polluted water. There we go. Fertilizer production is now online. Let's check it out. How is our puff farm going? It's not going. Apparently our dupes have found something else to do instead of this. Okay, so Nicola just arrived in the planet and he brought us a new artifact that I never seen. These, well, I mean, I already have seen this before, but not in this playthrough. The mangled saxophone. I'm also sending Nicola into another rocket right away. Nicola, did you just place yourself in front of the rat bolt? Oh well, you're not going to get any medical attention because you have a job to do. Go collect us a few igneous rock and copper, because we are always in need of that, and someone is trapped. Jesus, what the hell is going on? No one is trapped, they were just calling wolf when there was no need for that. Okay, my friends, so our cooling loop over here is almost done. I just need to fill it up with some polluted water, which I'm already taking care of. Let's enable auto bottle on all of this. You as well. There we go. Now, the way this is going to work is we are going to use a little bit of automation to control both the power flow and the temperature of the steam chamber. We're going to use this battery, right? That is going to be connected to the power grid. And we are going to have a shut-off right there. If the battery is full, the shut-off is going to cut from the main power grid, and the steam turbine should be able to provide it with enough power to run for a little while. Once the power has been depleted, then the connection shut-off turns the connection to the main power grid back on, enabling the battery to recharge and have power for all of our applications. Next, the automation for the steam turbine. We want this chamber specifically to cook resin, right? So we need to control the temperature. We're going to use two thermo thingies, temperature control thingies. I wish I had a little bit of water. That'd be nice to put on top of the polluted water. But oh, I have a few grams over here. I don't need a lot. Just need a few grams. So there we go. Now, the way this is going to work is we are going to have a maximum and a minimum temperature, and those 30 degrees in between is going to be the temperature that we are going to cook the isoresin. So we have this sensor over here that is going to activate if above 170 to cool off the steam chamber in order for us not to overcook the isoresin. That would be bad. And then we have this one over here that is going to prevent the steam turbine from operating if the temperature drops below 140, so that we can ensure that we have enough temperature inside of the steam chamber to actually make the isoresin in the first place, because this thing is going to be relatively cold, right, at 40 degrees, so it's going to steal away some temperature by itself. So we always want to have a little bit of temperature in there. And if we go over here into resin, right? Wait, what the hell did you just eat? Oh, pack of filet. Okay, go crazy on that. If we go over here on the isoresin, we can see that this thing turns into naphtha at 200 degrees, and it cooks into isoresin at 125 degrees. At this temperature, it is going to release some steam and drop a little bit of isoresin. That's why we have this auto sweeper and conveyor loader inside of the chamber to remove that stuff from there. Otherwise, we would have no access to it, and that would be bad. Okay, so now let's fill up the cooling loop with polluted water, which is the only fluid that I have available to me over here. I would rather have super coolant, obviously, but truth be told, this is rather simple. It's like polluted water is good enough. I even built a second layer of insulated tiles over here just to prevent the water from flashing in the pipes. This way we should control the temperature bleed in a better fashion. I also built these pipes out of steel just as a precaution. We never know when if these pipes were made out of gold, they could have melted and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't, but still, I had plenty of steel over here, so I just used some to make radiant pipes over there. So once this cooling loop is filled up, which I believe it is... perfect, I love it. I love it. Let's go like this. Please select the bridge, deconstruct that, and now we go over here. Oh, you guys did that, really? Okay. I can connect this now, because that thing was... yeah, maybe that's not a good idea until that is built, so let's just wait a second. Alright, there we go. Now that that little bit of wire has been removed, we are now... what it seems to be the problem? Not enough power production, that seems to be the problem. Okay, let me set up a coal power plant over here, at least until this thing gets rolling. Okay, so with this mini power plant rolling, let's connect that. And now we should have more than enough power production to keep up with the thermo aqua tuner. There is pretty much nothing else consuming power in the colony anyway, so it is what it is. Now, I'm not going to connect these things before we have steam in here. That would not be advisable. I don't even know what would happen if we just spread some resin inside of this yucky chamber. Alright, my friends, our job over here is done. I'm just going to open up these new packages that are arriving, because inside of them there is both granite and some coal that I am sending to the colony, right? Hello? Coal? Where are you? In any case, I'm just going to open up these packages, and after that, well, I'm going to send my dupes back home, because there is also stuff to do back home, and these dupes are the primary builders of the colony, so I would like to have them back at our main base, if at all possible. Well, hopefully these 5 tons of coal will last us a little bit of time, and by the time this is been consumed, we already have steam inside of this. Now, this is not completely going off all the time, because, well, this is already being cooled off enough, but over time is going to siphon off the heat from the entire map. It's going to be done slowly and steadily. Once again, not entirely in a hurry, and we didn't exactly have a bunch of resources available to us. This is going to be good enough. Now, let's send these dupes back. Are you crazy? Yep, nothing bad happened to the cooling loop. The pipes didn't raise to a temperature that would melt the gold, and the polluted water didn't rise so much that it flashed into steam inside of the pipes. So, cool. Oh well, my friends, this thing is almost done, finally. And because the name of the game today apparently is Small Improvements, I decided to do something to our base. We have the Museum of Dupology over here for our dupes to enjoy the history of their colony, and I thought to myself, we need to improve the recreation district. So, you know, I kinda went all in and created a disco for our dupes. I removed the jukebox from over here. Now this is a purely social lounge where our dupes can communicate with whomever is outside of the colony. But if they don't want to talk and they just want to dance and enjoy themselves, they can come over here and enjoy some tunes and some bright lights. Now, because we don't want this to be on all the time, I placed a sensor over there with the shut-off. The second the cycle turns from nighttime to daytime, this goes off and we are no longer consuming power. By the way, just one thing, I would like to know how it is possible for Nails and Lindsay to be outside of the rocket that is just arriving. Okay, I just got this one happening. I am flabbergasted. How is this possible? Did the dupes teleported? This is just unbelievable. Yeah, the dupes teleported outside of the cockpit and oh my god. Well, my friends, other than gold and aluminum, this planet has nothing else to offer us. I have completely cleared it out of pretty much everything useful, even minerals. Just look, all the minerals gone, all the refined metals gone, all the ores gone, seeds gone, everything. Everything is gone. This planet has been completely cleaned out. Okay, that's scary, but in any case, this planet has been completely cleaned out, meaning that we now have a trucker dupe for our mining rockets. We shouldn't come in here anytime soon. It takes a little bit of time until you have 20 tons of either gold or aluminum ready to go. So, yeah, we'll be waiting until we have sufficient resources to justify a journey back here. Okay, my friends, so last episode we discovered that in the storage bin, if you want to add atmosuits, you should add the number of atmosuits that you want. However, this time, apparently, things have changed, because I have been waiting in here for a very long time, pretty much since the beginning of the episode. I have been monitoring this storage bin, and the dupes have added 0 atmosuits to it, even though they should, and I have plenty of atmosuits available, and the storage bin where the atmosuits are residing in this moment is at a lower priority than this one. So I'm going to assume something changed. I don't know why would it ever changed like this small thing, but okay, let's try this again. 1,000 kilograms worth of suits, and please don't bring me the entire colony worth of suits. Okay, so even though the dupes are not too keen on delivering suits in here, we have a job to do. We have to go back to the ice planet to do more deliveries over there. So I suppose that given that we started the episode by going into the ice planet, we can end the episode by going over there once again. Okie dokie, here are our dupes. This time they didn't teleport out of the cabin. That's a improvement, I suppose. Yeah, we are going... Whoa. I just love the mess these rockets make all over the place. But in any case, let's just pick up these trillion interplanetary loads that we have. That is going to give us a good amount of coal, even though we spent pretty much nothing. This has been quite efficient at providing us with power. And all of that pretty much resulted in... we were at 25%, so we got 35% charge in this thing in this episode, so it's pretty good. We are almost at 100%, but the truth be told, I'm not going to build anything more impressive than this. Okay, not going to build anything more impressive than this because, well, this thing is our endgame scenario, right? Once we open this thing and send the dupe through the portal, the playthrough is over. And, you know, I just don't want it to end in one episode. You know, I kind of like, yeah, I went through the trouble of building all of this stuff, you know, all of these facilities, and I don't want to see them gone just yet. But yeah, soon the end should be near soon enough. Once this thing is recharged, we should be golden to go. I mean, I suppose that it is dupe interaction to open up this thing is needed. So we will, I suppose, I don't know, I never used this. So I'm going to assume that a dupe has to come over here and activate this before this thing opens the temporal there. So, I don't know, maybe not in the next episode, but in maybe a couple of episodes we should be opening up this thing. But oh well, my friends, this episode is drawing in to its end, and even though the dupes don't want to enjoy the things that we build for them, suppose that in these final moments we will. But with all of that said, guys, I just want to say that I noticed that in this episode I was all over the place. I don't know why I even bother making up a plan, but at least we got a bunch of useful stuff built, like the puff farm that should be operational in no time. In fact, we already have a puff in there, so that this puff should auto-replicate himself a bunch of times, and soon this thing will be filled up. We also got this rolling in a few other optimizations, and of course the crown, the jewel crown of the little builds, the disco. The dupe disco, right? But unfortunately our dupes don't want to enjoy themselves, that's their problem. But with that said, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode and that you are enjoying the series so far. If you are, please consider subscribing and help the channel grow. But in the meantime, this is the Base Manager signing out. Bye bye!